So, our objective for today, I can summarize data using frequency tables. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I can summarize data using frequency tables. So you already wrote that on your bottom bottom left of your notes. Is that correct? All right. And you have your Frayer model. Okay. And on your Cornell notes, you have your column for the Q's. Is that correct? Okay. On the Q section, I want you to write these terms down, please. On the Q side. Here it goes. So the first term that I want you to write is data, and the definition I want you to write is facts or information used. Facts or information used. That goes on the Q side. Facts or information used. Underneath that, we're going to see today two types of data. We're going to be looking at categorical data and quantitative data. So categorical data is data that cannot be expressed with numbers. Write that underneath the other one, data, facts, or information used. Categorical data is data that cannot be expressed with numbers. And you're going to leave a line so that we can write some examples in a little bit. On the Q side, you're going to write data, facts, or information used. Underneath that, the first set of data that we're going to look at is categorical. And you're going to write this underneath, right? Underneath that, you're going to write quantitative data. And it's data that can be expressed with numbers. That's the type of data that we're looking at today. And the reason I'm going over this lesson today is I want to get us through just vocabulary, because this week we're going to be looking at statistics, and I want us to be refreshed with this vocabulary. All right. So, as you're finishing up, let me give you examples of categorical and quantitative. So categorical data is data that cannot be expressed with numbers, so it's any type of information, such as, if I was to ask Rudy, what's your favorite food plate? Carne asada tacos. Carne asada tacos. With guacamole? Okay. Notice that's just random information, but it's data, isn't it? Alright, so that's categorical. Also, if I was to ask Kendra, what's your favorite color? Pink. That's also data, and it's categorical. If I was to ask Oliver, what's your shoe size? 8. So notice 8, I wouldn't write here, I would write over here, because this one says that can be expressed with numbers. So how about, let's see, what's your favorite pet, Andrea? A dog, okay? And that's under categorical because it's just information and it's not a number. How about, let's see, if you were to go to Donut, Alan, what size drink do you get? Extra large. How many ounces is that? Like 32? So then we would write 32 ounces, and that's quantitative data. So what do you guys notice between categorical and quantitative? Categorical does not use numbers. Quantitative uses what? Numbers. Does that make sense? Okay, so write those down as examples, please. Another one here would be height. Is that correct? How about age? Yeah, also. Okay, all those could be quantitative. Everybody got it? All right, let's move on. So, in your Frayer model, write this in there, please. It says, frequency tables. Tables used to organize information that show how often data occurs. Frequency tables. Tables used to organize information that show how often data occurs. I give you examples, and here for the examples, the one in green is our frequency table. The one in gray is just data, and I'll show you how that works. Non-examples, I gave you another table, and then I gave you already the critical attributes. Write those down. I'll give you about 1 minute. Go. Okay. So as you're finishing up, really quick, in the definition it says tables used to organize information, okay, and that show how often data occurs. So I'm going to circle with green how often data occurs. Those of you that have your colored pens. And I want you to point that to frequency. That's what frequency means. How often something occurs. So if I was to say, how frequently do you clean your room? Yeah, it's like every day, right? Yeah, as soon as you are done with your home play, you get to cleaning your room. So that's what frequency means. Frequency means how often something happens or occurs. So watch. So here from the example, I said the table in green, this one, is our frequency table. This one over here is just a table of data that we use to fill in our frequency table. So this data, it says type of baskets made by Mr. Q. There's 3 different types of baskets in a basketball game. There's 1-pointers, 2-pointers, and 3-pointers. So let's see in a game how it went. Mr. Q made 2 1-pointers, and then 3 2-pointers and a 3-pointer. Then a 2-pointer, 3-pointer, 2-pointer, 3-pointer, and then 2 1-pointers. A 2-pointer, 1-pointer, 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 and a 3-pointer. So therefore, if we accumulate all that data over here, this tells how frequent each shot was. So how many times did he make a 1-pointer? 8 times. How many times did he make a 2-pointer? 6 times. And 3-pointer 4 times. Now, what are these tables used for? So that we can conclude any information that we can abstract out of a situation. So what would be a situation here? It's a basketball game, is that correct? So what can we conclude given this information? Think about it. What can we conclude? Andrea? He made more 1-pointers, which are free throws. So what does that mean in a game if I made more free throws? Think about it. Outside the box. What do you think? Exactly. I got fouled like crazy. Is that correct? Either I was driving into the hoop, or whoever was playing with me didn't really like me, or something like that. Yeah. So, what other thing can we conclude from here? Can we tell how many baskets I made in total? Yes, by adding all of them, right? What is 4 plus 6? 10 plus 8, that's 18, so that would be a total of 18 baskets. Okay? So, let's look at the non-example. Look up. A non-example is just a list of items. Does it tell us the frequency? No, it's just a list of items. So what's the difference between a frequency and a non-example? That the frequency tells us how many times something happened or how often it happened. Are we there? So therefore, that's why we write, we organize information. Did we organize it? Yes. And does it show the frequency? Yes. Are we there? Write these steps down, please. Underneath there, if it fits. It's only 2 steps. It says, step 1, organize data in a 1-way or 2-way frequency table. And number 2, summarize, which is analyze and make conclusions about the data. Okay? So before we move on, I want us to first practice our vocabulary to see if we understand quantitative and qualitative data. Okay? So, once again, steps, organize data in a 1-way or 2-way frequency table. I'll show you the difference from one to the other. And then we're going to summarize, which means we're going to analyze and make conclusions about the data that we have. Okay? So watch. Look up, please. So for example, example 1A. On example 1A, it says, is the following information categorical or quantitative? Let's see. A truck, a van, an SUV. Don't do anything on the screen, please. Stay focused on over here. So what kind of information is this? Categorical. Is that correct? Because it doesn't have any numbers. Are we there? So therefore, you by yourself, I want you to do example 1B and 1C on your iPad. All right, here we go. For example 2A now, check this out. For example 2A, this is a one-way frequency table because all it's asking is to give us a total of one set of data. So this is how we fill these out. This is like the example I gave you on the FAIR model. So watch. They give us a set of data, such as this one, and it says ways students get to school, bus, car, walk, and so on. So they give you the different ones. So now I'm going to fill out my table. So let's see bus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 students go by bus. How about car? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How about walk? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So does everybody see how to fill out a one-way frequency table? And what can we conclude from that data? People what? Okay. Well, maybe it may not be that they're lazy, it's that they live far away. So we can conclude that the majority of what? The majority of students ride the bus. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Q.
Yeah? So the majority ride the bus. So I want you to do this next one by yourself. Example 2B on your iPad. Hold on, let me send it. Give me a second. Once again, for example 2B, fill in the frequency table and answer the question. Question, what can you conclude from the frequency table? Do that, please. All right, so we concluded, let me go to my PowerPoint really quick, that, let's see, help me fill this in. How many went to Donut? 14. Johnny's? And Circle K? 3. So therefore we said that most go to Donut. Okay. So that's how you fill in a one-way frequency table, and that's how you you answer your conclusion. So check this out. Look at this one though. Mr. Q asked 195 of his students what kind of pet they prefer, dogs, cats, or other. So watch. First of all, who notices now that this table is a little bit different from the previous ones? Okay, this one's called a two-way because now we can actually have two different variables. We have some over here by gender and over here by the different types of pets preferred. Does that make sense? So if I was to continue, we can actually get some totals by looking at this table and saying, okay, how many girls did Mr. Q interview? So let's see, girls, 60 dogs, 30 cats, 10 others. So how many total girls? 100. How many total boys? And the total of students was 195. But now we can also add this way. How many total students liked dogs or preferred dogs? 145, cats 35, and others 15. That's why this is called a two-way frequency table, because now we have data going this way and data going that way. It's a two-way frequency table. Everybody with me? So, and make sure you pay attention to this one. The total of everything goes down at the bottom right. Everybody got it? All right, so with that said, I want you to fill in this next one. Hold on, don't tap anything, I'll send it to you. It says, example 3B, complete the two-way frequency table, and it says, by grade level, 9th grade and 10th grade, and the preferred fruit, apple, orange, and banana. But there's missing stuff, and I also want you to answer the question. What can you conclude from the frequency table? Okay, let me push that really quick. Hold on. Okay, make sure you fill in your table and answer your question, please. Go. Example 3B. All right, so it looks like there are how many 9th graders? 54. There's 46 10th graders, and all total give us 100. And it looks like How many students like apples? 41. 21 like oranges, some like bananas. Therefore, what we can conclude is that most like apples. A nice drawing by Marissa. Thank you, Marissa. So, pretty much that's going to be the home plate for tonight. It's filling out frequency tables and making sure that you understand how to disaggregate data and answer questions from there. So, before we go, look up please. So, home plate for tonight. Our home plate for tonight is found on pages 415 through 416. There is tutoring today. If I don't see you today, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you exit out of all the screens, please. Have a good one, guys. Bye.